With every great fighting game comes a great roster of characters. And with Capcom recently teasing Street Fighter 6, what better time than to talk about the top 5 characters I want to see in Street Fighter 6. These will be my personal opinions, so if before I left someone out, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And without wasting any more time, let's begin. Coming in at number 5 is none other than the beloved Ryukan practitioner, Makoto. Makoto made her first appearance in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and quickly became a fan favorite, even placing number 2 in the 2017 Street Fighter character popularity poll. Makoto was trained in Ryukan karate at a young age by her father who owned a dojo, and she was very talented at it. But sadly her father would pass away, leaving his beloved dojo unattended for. Makoto, without the financial help of her brother, made it her mission to save her father's dojo. She did this by competing in tournaments, and by doing this would not only promote her fighting style and dojo, but could also help her financially. In Street Fighter 3 she would compete in a tournament organized by Gil and the Illuminati. But unfortunately Makoto would not win the tournament because Alex is the canon winner. And Makoto performed sensationally well, bringing tons of new eyes to the Ryukan fighting style, growing the dojo's popularity more than what her father could have ever imagined. This meaning Makoto fulfilled her father's aspirations and making her father proud. Why should Makoto be in Street Fighter 6? Not only is Makoto a fan favorite and would help the game with sales, she also has one of the better stories in Street Fighter. Her story ended up with her successfully repairing the father's dojo and spreading the name of the fighting style, but where does she go from there? I'm curious to what happens to Makoto after Street Fighter 4. Does she keep promoting her father's dojo? Or maybe she'll take like a more glorified, famous approach to it like Fei Long. Well, the only way to find out is if she's added to Street Fighter 6, so make it happen, Capcom. Number 5 is Makoto. Now for number 4, it's Shiraz, the Bloody Assassin. Shiraz, or Hokuto, whatever you want to call her, made her first appearance in Street Fighter EX. Now I know it's not the most popular Street Fighter, but I feel a lot of characters like Hokuto and Kairi aren't as popular or well known as they should be, considering they have such fascinating lore. Now her story is a bit confusing, so bear with me, I'm going to try to do my best to explain it. From a very young age, Hokuto was being trained as an assassin by her father to carry out the assassination of her older brother Kairi, who is believed to be practicing quote-unquote evil techniques. But unknown to Hokuto, she was brainwashed at infancy, and is actually an illegitimate child of the Mizugami family, whose real name was Shiraz. But that side of her is oppressed by a blood seal placed on her by the elders of the Mizugami family so she would never find out of her past. If that seal is removed, she turns into Shiraz, an assassin with only one motive, and one motive only: to kill Kairi. Why should Shiraz be in Street Fighter 6? Shiraz would make a great addition to Street Fighter 6 because she's an assassin. Street Fighter likes to have a lot of those lethal characters in their games. For example, there's Nakali, there's Oni, there's Akuma, and there's Fong, just to name a couple. Shiraz, freed from her Hokuto identity, almost gives her an assassin Terminator feel, which is perfect for that lethal character image. Her only motive is to kill Kairi, and if someone's in her way, she'll make quick work of them, like her name's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I highly doubt they'll add Nakali for Street Fighter 6, so what better killer character to add than Shiraz, who not only looks killer, but she's a freaking killer. Anyway, she comes from Street Fighter EX, which I often feel is forgotten about. Characters like Hokuto, Kairi, Dokkan Dark, and Skullmania, they don't get as much love as they should. Capcom has paid homage to them in Street Fighter 5 with like skins. I know G has a Skullmania one, but is really a skin that cool? Like, give us a playable character, give us a playable version of them, not just some shitty skin that you could just make when, like, I don't know how long it takes them to make skins, but give us a EX character in a new Street Fighter, and please make it be Shiraz, because that would just be so sick. Anyways, number 4 is Shiraz.
何よ、じらじら見てんのさ。
Number 3 is the Bushin Ninja, Maki Genryusai. Maki wouldn't debut in Street Fighter, but would in another popular Capcom game, that being Final Fight 2, as one of the 3 playable characters. Maki's story in Final Fight 2 goes as follows. Her father and sister were kidnapped by the newly revived Mad Gear, who were coming back with vengeance, especially against Guy. So they kidnap his fiancée. But little do they know, her fiancée's sister is a ninja herself. Maki enlists the help of Mike Haggard and Carlos Miyamoto to help save her sister and father, and also stop the gang's chaos in the process. Maki soon runs into Rolento, who is in cahoots with the Mad Gear. The two proceed a fight with Maki coming out on top. She questions a defeated Rolento, who has no choice but to tell her where his leader's location is. Shortly after, Maki confronts the leader, which is Retu, and then beats the snot out of them, thus putting a stop to the Mad Gear and saving her loved ones. Why should Maki be in Street Fighter 6? Maki is one of those characters who has been constantly requested to make a return, but Capcom seems just to be hesitant to bite the bullet. Understandably, her role in Street Fighter Alpha was not anything special, she was just challenging Guy. So we can all agree that she doesn't add anything to Street Fighter lore-wise. Then again, Street Fighter is fiction, and in a world of fiction, the possibilities are endless. So they could definitely make something brand new with her. I honestly don't see her making the starting roster, but I could definitely see her being added in within updates. Number 3 is Maki. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the last name. Now number 2 is the determined Brazilian newbie Shoto, Sean Matsuda. Sean would debut in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike as part of the new generation fighters. Sean is a youngster from Brazil and uses a very rough form of the Shotokan style. This is due to the fact that he is still a newbie to all of this. Sean's story is that he sees Ken performing at a tournament, and instantly Sean is inspired to be just like Ken. He insists that Ken teach him and take him under his wing, though Ken isn't too big of a fan of the idea. Sean would enter a tournament to try and impress Ken. The poor Sean would get absolutely shit mixed in the qualifying rounds. But at least Ken noticed him. Why should Sean be in Street Fighter 6? Street Fighter 6 has been confirmed to be happening in the future, and with Sean being a newbie in Third Strike, which is now in the past, that only means one thing. Sean, who is at the bottom, the only thing he can do is go up. It would be cool to see like a skilled, disciplined version of Sean in Street Fighter 6 as opposed to the more pushover, Dan-like Sean that was portrayed in Third Strike. He's also part of the Matsuda family, and he's a Shoto, so imagine like a Shoto and Matsuda Jujutsu hybrid. Sean probably could have been in Street Fighter 5, but he wasn't, understandably so. I mean, just look at his fucking sister, man. Of course they would choose Laura over him. Like, just look at her. There was never any hope for Sean, let's be honest here. You can't argue with fucking tits. Anyways, that's besides the point. Number 2 is Sean Matsuda.
I'm more than a challenge for you.
Coming in at number 1, the character that I most want to see in Street Fighter 6. There's no need for introduction. It is Mike freaking Haggard.
5, 6, 7, get a workout.
Now, if you're new to Capcom games, or you just don't know who he is, or you've been living under a rock, Mike Haggard is from the Final Fight series. Mike Haggard was the mayor of Metro City, and the Mad Gear would kidnap his daughter, Jessica, and attempt to manipulate the mayor to give in to their wishes. But instead of submitting to them, like a freaking champ, Haggard would go out of his way to wipe out the Mad Gear with the help of Cody and Guy. Cody being Jessica's boyfriend, and Guy being a local Bushin ninja. Whether it be the Mad Gear or the Skull Cross Gang, Mike Haggard made it his due diligence to take out gangs doing any sorts of harm to Metro City, as a mayor should. We now know he's no longer the mayor because he gave that job to his friend Cody, but that also answers the next question. Why should Mike Haggard be in Street Fighter 6? What has happened to Mike Haggard after stepping down as governor? Is he still involved with the government and politics? Is he still stopping crime? Is he a wrestler again? This is exactly why we need Haggard in Street Fighter 6. It's bad enough he's never been a playable character in any Street Fighter, which is mind-boggling to me. If characters from Final Fight like Guy, Poison, Hugo, Lucia make appearances as playable characters in Street Fighter, why the freak not Mike Haggard? I'm not talking about no shitty cameos and other characters' story modes, like that's whack. Nobody cares about that. We need him as a playable character that will cause absolute carnage. I'm tired of Zangief fucking taking all the fucking glory. If you don't know, Zangief's actually just a copy and pasted version of Mike Haggard. He took all his moves from Final Fight. So fuck Zangief, like I don't even care. Like he's fucking oppressing Haggard. That shit is unacceptable. And if you think I'm lying, just look it up. I'll even throw up a little screenshot. It's time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Mike Haggard to be playable in a Street Fighter game. Please, Capcom, make this happen. Like, I'll sacrifice the previous 4 characters just to see Haggard. To conclude, these are my top 5 characters who I think should be in Street Fighter 6. For Street Fighter 6 being in the future, I'm sure a lot of the Third Strike roster are going to be in Street Fighter 6. So I'm almost positive Sean and Makoto will be in it. Sadly, Haggard, Capcom doesn't seem to give a shit about him. But mark my words, Makoto and Sean will be in it. Like, I'm pretty positive they will. Let me know in the comments if you think I left someone out. And if you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. All that fun stuff. With that being said, this has been Captain Froggy, signing off.